Hi, this is Shanika Bridges Matthew with Shackles Off My Learning, where our motto is to excel is to propel. So take the shackles off your mind and learn something new. Today I'm going to be talking about how to use the products that are mainly for science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, in my store. I have a number of products in my store that are related to science, technology, engineering, and math. And I teach engineering and technology. But prior to teaching engineering and technology, I taught English as a second language, so that's totally different. But, engineering and technology is something that can be applied in pretty much every subject, whether it's literacy, history, of course, science and math. So anyway, each morning when my students come in, they start off with the bell ringer. So let me show you real quick the bell ringers. All right, so I'm just going to pull up one of them. Okay. And what I did, I just typed in STEM. I just searched my store. I have about 95 products right now. It's a growing list. But my students get when I download it as if I purchased it. I already have it on my computer, but I'm just going to hit download just because it's easier to pull up. And I have a trillion things on my computer. All right, so each morning I use Edmodo because I do have a computer lab and a work lab. So I have a little bit more advantages than other teachers because I do have a lab. But before I even had a computer lab, I've only had a computer lab for the last 2 years. Prior to that, I had 3 computers or 2 computers in my room. And they just did a lot of station activities, and I use laptops. Now, I do understand with the use of laptops, sometimes you can't get on the network. You have some issues, but, there's a will, there's a way. If you have a desktop or a couple desktops in your room, you can do station activities with this. But this particular thing, this bell ringer, you just put up on the board. Okay, so basically, when the students come in, they know that they have to do their bell ringer in their notebook. So they have 4 questions. They're science, technology, engineering, and math questions. And I have a lot of, as you can see, I have picture clues. The bell ringers are not designed to be a got you. Okay, so you can look at some of these. They're pretty much designed so that, the kids to jog their memory and just to get them ready for learning. Okay, so that's just one example. So that would take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Like I said, when they're first coming in, they sit to get their notebooks just to get them stationary. And then I go over the answers with them. Okay, another thing that the kids really love to do, they love challenges. Oh my goodness, and I teach high school students. So most of my students are 9th and 10th grade. But I do have some 11th and 12th graders, a handful. They really love challenges, and that's the reason why they're in engineering and technology. Now, my job is not to train them to be engineers and technicians. My job is to get them to have a love for wanting the field of engineering and technology. So I do that by trying to relate other subjects. I do a lot of cross-curricular activities, and one in particular that went very well was Music Production STEM Challenge. I'm just waiting. My computer is cycling here. I had some really good things, and I just need to get a media release. I had some great music to come out of those STEM challenges. And once I get the media release, I'll probably post some examples a little bit later on of those things. Okay, so as you can tell, I work on multiple things at once, but this is already done and uploaded. Well, my students work with Technical Student Association. We really push that because a lot of our standards and things that we do in class is connected and related to competition and being able to compete in the real world with other students in other schools and the state as well as across the nation. So one of the challenges with TSA is music production. So I pretty much just kind of curtailed this for my class to do as a project for my class. And usually it's just like an individual or project that you do at a state competition, but I just curtailed it to my class. So anyway, if you look at this project, it's pretty much simple. I go over the objectives. I kind of give them like a hook just to get their thoughts. I always start with like a question, and the picture is just to make them like, oh, what's this about? Or, just something to make them look at the actual PowerPoint, because even high school students, they love visuals, and I think you have to have visuals. I'm just kind of scrolling through this just to get their minds jogging. Visual literacy is so important. So I give them a purpose for the project, and I tell them what they're supposed to do that day. And that day, usually, they have to get in their groups. They have to do what they call a project plan of work log, and they have to do a quick quiz about what I talked about, just to make sure that I know that they are, going over the things that they need to go over. So I'm just showing you a few of the slides that relate to this. I'm not going to go through all of them. But basically, they just have to, they have a rubric. I had to break up the rubric because it was kind of long. So I had to break it up into documentation and then also the musical piece. And then also make them evaluate their peers. So those are separate grades, but I make them like a summative assessment grade. And that forces them, I think learning this way with challenges is way better than just, giving them information, vocabulary, matching, read, that type of stuff. And then, sometimes you don't really know if they're doing the homework, doing the vocabulary, but with this, you know what they're doing because the peer's going to tell on them. The music will reveal it, or whatever that project's going to reveal it. And you really know if they learned it because they're actually applying what they learned, what they created. They're actually applying it, not just doing the lower remembering and recalling type things. So I love doing projects. It's the best type of summative assessment. And this is just an example of one. In my store, I also have another one. I have so many. And each day I kind of add different things, just depending on what I might have experienced or what I could be thinking of when I come up with an idea, or could be reading something and say, okay, this is a good project. For example, the clothing upcycle STEM challenge. And I'm not going to open all of them. Actually, this is something I did. I was watching a YouTube video and I was seeing girls or different people take old clothes and just change the whole outfit. And I was like, oh, smart. And so I was like, this is a quick challenge we do. And I actually did this with some students about 3 years ago in a summer program. So this was a good one. This is a really good one too. And it's not, expensive. But these are things that you want to look at. Now, if you don't want to really, every day you're not going to be up doing challenges. I don't even do them because first of all, it's time consuming and it's messy sometimes. And it also is, kind of expensive. I mean, and like all of them aren't expensive. Most of them use like recyclable materials. But sometimes when you're not there, or I apologize for that, or you need sub plans, or some days you're just not up all the time, or homework activities, we have those as well. So if you look, there's reading comprehension checks for engineering technology students. There's vocabulary matching activities. I love doing listening and viewing skills, and I just need to put a cover on this one. But what I do is I used to teach English as a second language, and I also taught special ed as well. And I noticed that even general ed students don't have good listening skills, and that's pretty much 70% of communication. So in order to make sure they understood, you just give them one thing to listen to or watch. At least I give them a listening and viewing activity. Make them watch it one time, and I give them maybe a 5 to 10 question quiz over what was on the video. And that makes them pay attention. That's why I know, because sometimes, kids, they don't like to pay attention to stuff. They want to do what they want to do. So just to get them focused. So I have some listening activities that are, pretty much mini lessons, but it's a quiz after it, pop quiz, just to make sure they were paying attention. So these are some things that are on here. I have some crossword puzzles. I love the STEM career of the future web quest, human implant working designer. Wow, this is real. This is actually a job that is they're actually testing out, and that people have implants in them that were 3D printed. So this one gets the kids to explore that. A soil and water conservationist, if you're focusing on the environment, like our school is a big focus on the environment, which it should be for every school. Ooh, unexploded, and that's not spelled wrong, ordnance technician. Yeah, I was researching and I found this one, and it deals with, desensitizing bombs and things. I'm taking them apart. And I was like, okay, these are things, quest activities that's different, interesting that kids can do. Data scientists, big field, and that's something that's actually going on right now. Also, if you really don't have a good concept of what technology is, you want to probably start off with the intro to technology. What is technology? This is a mini lesson in work period activity. That's going to pretty much take the whole class period, but it's really going to give them a good understanding of what technology is. Because a lot of people think technology is just computers, cell phones, electronics, etc. but it's pretty much everything that we use in the human that's what humans created. So anyway, that's pretty much a general overview of my store. I don't just sell STEM stuff, but a lot of, I'll say 1/3 of what is in my store is STEM. I am certified in 12 subjects, and I've taught most of them. But so I do have a vast I have an array of things in my store that you can check out. For example, some of the best sellers are these English bell ringers, and the tone versus mood, and the narrative writing versus informative and expository. So there are just several things that you would like to check out on Shackles Off My Learning, and I would appreciate you checking out on Shackles Off My Learning. So anyway, just wanted to give you an overview of how you can be different, differentiate, apply things, make stuff fun for the kids. And I really focus on doing that. So please check out my store, Shackles Off My Learning. And thank you again. This is Shanika Bridges Matthew. Have a wonderful day.